Hello, good afternoon everyone. Welcome sa part 2 ng ating live stream. Hintayin lang natin yung mga ibang participants and viewers. Okay, sa mga hindi pa nag-like dyan, baka naman, paki-like naman yung ating live stream. Mag-invite na kayo at we're about to start. May 11 million viewers na tayo. It's 5:01 and we should have started at 5 o'clock. Well, anyway, hintayin lang natin yung iba. Baka sila ay andyan pa, nakikitsika. O kaya umiinom ng kape, kagaya ko. Pero di nyo ako makikita. Kasi, wala lang. Puro pimples na makikita nyo pag binuksan ko yun. Oh, yan na. Nadadagdagan na tayo. We will do just like what we did yesterday. Saglit lang. Hindi ko pala na-send yung yung link. Wait, ha? Sa BE3. Sinend ko ba sa inyo? Yeah. Sinend ko pala. Ayan, kumusta ang maghapon nyo? Ha? Masaya naman? Mag-comment kayo dyan kung kumusta naman yung maghapon nyo. O yan, isinend ko lang yung link sa BEE3. Okay, mag-open na rin ako ng YouTube at nang makita ko kung ano nang nangyayari dyan. Kumusta sa inyong lahat? Lalong-lalo sa ating 15 million viewers. Hintayin lang natin ang mga iba pa. Okay, pakidagdagan niyo yung mga like niyo, mga anak. Ayan na siya. Uy, nag-iingay siya. Ayan, salamat sa pa-herring dun sa mga, pag sinabi nating pa-herring, yung mga nanonood ng ng ads, yung hindi nag-i-skip ng ads. Ayan. Naragsak, ma'am, kunana ni Rona Jane. Apo, da siguro mang palpalagto ti puso na ni Rona Jane. Iso nga naragsak, tinagmalam na. Ayan. Ayan. Naka-ready na yung ano nyo. Bakit 17 pa lang? Ilan kayong ilan kayong magpe-present? Si Shehera pala hindi pa naka-panty dito. Ano pag sinabi mo naka-panty, ibig sabihin yung naka-blue ka na, moderator ka na, ganun. Okay. Naragsak nga adult activities na, ma'am. Naragsak ba ti adult activities na? Kasi nga talaga. Mag-i-start na tayo. Ang ang rule natin ay kagaya nung kagabi, kung wala po kayo dito kagabi, ang gagawin natin ay ma'am, ado activities ko na ni Leslie. Kasta nga talaga, tinapintas. Ado ti activities na. Iso nga kay kayatan nyo latan. Tanapintas kayo. Okay, so what we will do is we're going to play the video. And after the video, magsisend lang ako dyan ng code. Naka-ready na mga code natin kagabi pa. Asan na? Naka-ready na ka ako. Wala pa naman ako sa page na yun ng notebook ko. Ito pa namang notebook ko, napakaraming sulat. Nasaan na? Aglalao. Adda ka tanga lesson, adda ka tanga utang. Charot. Okay. Adda ka tanga lako. Ito na siya. Hello, Meglove. Shoutout sa inyo, mga BSE3. Ayan. Sabi ng BEE3, dadalaw din sila, pero nandito na kami. Wala pa rin sila. Ayan. Okay. Ang entry number 1 natin ay naka-ready na rin sa kabilang banger. Okay. Sa monitor natin. Sana naman makiko-operate ang ating Nag-cooperate itong ating tsakang Wi-Fi. Okay na? Let's go! 21 pa lang. Paano ba yan? 22 kayo. May absent. Kahit ba naman dito, may absent pa rin. Ano ba yan? Mukhang same people pa ang absent ah. Ayan, mas mabilis tayo ngayon. Kaya eto na, Arya na tayo. Wala na ba tayong hinihintay? Yung mga invites ninyo, ang mauuna sa ating, wait lang ha, titignan ko. Ang mauuna ay si April. April Glory Gayap. Ayan, para naman fair kay April Glory, magtawag ka na April Glory because we will be starting in 1 minute. Mag-start na tayo in 1 minute. April Glory, go. Tawag na, go, 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 go. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Go. Ayan. 22. Ha, yan na, yan na, yan na. Malapit na, malapit na, malapit na. Ayan na, ayan na. Okay, we will be starting in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, same process tayo ha. 20 seconds ulit ang butohan. You will wait for the code. Yung code ang isusulat ninyo, not the entry number. Okay? So, yung code ang isusulat ninyo. Pagka ano nyo na, naisulat nyo na ang vote nyo, huwag nang paulit-ulit. Okay? Minsan lang. Tapos, pag nakita niyo yung stop, ibig sabihin hindi na included yung vote ninyo after yung comment or yung chat na stop. Ako yung mag-chat nyo. Okay, docs. Let's go, let's go. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Ready, ready. Mag-share screen na ako. Buong screen ang share ko para successful ang ating audio. Kasi yan, para masaya. Okay. Pag na-mute ko na
I am April Gloria Gayap, BSc student of Isabela State University, and today I am going to tell you about the story of the value of hard work. This story began when a man who used to run a successful business in the city was a father to a very lazy and sluggish boy. His son was a careless spender too, but never even helped anyone in need with his money. The father was very upset to see his son like this and decided to teach him the lesson. The next day, he made an announcement to him. You will only be given meals at night only if you earn something in your day. The boy, in disbelief, went to his mother, asking for sympathy and confirming that his dad is not joking. The mother could do nothing except feeling sorry for him. As a token of hope, she gave him a gold coin. At the night on the table, when the father asked, the boy showed his coin promptly. His father knew he didn't earn it on his own. He asked his son to throw it into the well in the garden. The boy did so without any hesitation. The father sent his wife to her parents, knowing she would stop herself from helping his son. Next morning, when the boy woke up and didn't find his mother around, he went to his grandfather and told him about his dad. His grandfather also felt sorry for him and gave him another coin. When the father asked him about that day's earning, he again came up with a gold coin. Knowing the fact, he went to his father explaining to him, I want to teach my son lesson. When the boy could not get anything from his grandfather, he went to the market to earn something in reality. He met a shopkeeper there and asked if he could offer him some work. The shopkeeper looked at the boy and said, if you carry this heavy trunk to my home, I'll give you 3 silver coins. The boy agreed to this, but after the work, he felt exhausted and drenched in sweat. He was very happy to earn 3 coins by himself. He rushed home to show it to his father. The father appreciated him this time, but again asked him to throw them into the well. The boy almost got into tears and defeated said, Father, my whole body is aching and I give my best to earn this, and you're asking me to throw it into the well? The father smiled. So now you feel that when the fruit of your hard labor are wasted, how does it feel like? You didn't hesitate to throw those gold coins who you didn't earn yourself, but now you understand the worth of your hard work and how much it took me to collect all this money. Definitely not to waste on lame things you do. The boy was regretting every moment of it and thanked his dad for his greatness. We can learn from this story that the value of hard work is not only hidden in its reward, but the degree of achievement too. We need to always remember that it is better to taste the fruit of our hard work. Again, it is April, Glory, and Gaia, your storyteller.
Okay, vote, vote, vote kapag nagustuhan nyo yung kay April Gayap. Entry number 1. The code is CEF. CEF. Okay, 20. 20 seconds to vote for CEF. Entry number 1. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Ayan. So, i-screenshot ko lang siya mula doon sa CEF. Okay. Scroll tayo. Ayan, kasi isa-send ko sa mga secretary ko to. Okay. Okay. Ready na yung next. Ready na yung mag-ready na yung next. Yeah. Ayan. Okay, sa secretaries ko, ganito gagawin nyo dun sa screenshot ni sinend ko sa inyo. Paki-check kung may mga nagdoble-doble ng vote, okay? So, ang tignan nyo lang doon ay yung CEF na tinype ko, tapos yung stop. Mula sa CEF hanggang sa stop, yun ang bilangin nyo kung ilan yung nakita yung CEF doon. Tapos, tanggalin yung mga doble-doble, minsan lang natin sila ibibilang, yung doble-doble, okay? And so let's have the second one, second entry. Ito na si entry number 2. Our entry number 2 is, sino to? Si Rosdef de Fiesta. Okay, mag-off muna ako
Legend of Magat River. A long time ago, there lived in Bayambong a tall, handsome man called Magat. He was young and strong and fast as a hunter and sure in his spear shot. He could run as fast as a deer and strong as he was. He could down a bull with ease. He was strong-willed and obstinate, but he was also kind and gentle. Except for a few who envied him, everybody in the village loved and respected him. Magat loved outdoor life and roamed in the forest surrounding the struggling settlement. One day, fired by adventure, he wandered farther than usual. Soon night came. Being far from home, he kindled a fire in his crude, primitive way. He lay beside the fire and fell asleep. Early the next morning, he pursued his solitary way. Finally, he came upon the largest stream he had ever seen. He stopped and crawled noisily to the bank of the river near the fall. Upon parting the tall grasses, he beheld a lovely sight just across the stream. Beneath the shade of the outspreading branches of the big balete tree was a very beautiful maiden. She was the most beautiful woman Magat had ever seen, and he fell in love with her at the first sight. From where she was hiding, Magat's attention was attracted by a silent movement on a spreading branch. Magat saw a great python coiled around the branch, which was ready to attack the beautiful woman. He jumped backward. The noise he made drew the attention of the maiden, who turning around saw him poise a spear. She mistook his attitude for hostility and ducked underwater. Just as the python sprung, the spear flew from Magat's hand. The snake was struck right through the eyes and brain. The next moment, Magat was in the water and carried the beautiful maiden ashore. She struggled a little but did not scream, and she modestly tried to cover her body with her long, dark hair. Magat pointed to the writhing python. Upon seeing it, she screamed instinctively and drew close to Magat, who put a protecting arm around her lovely shoulders. Gratitude and admiration were all over her pretty face. Magat picked up his broken spear and went back to the young woman. They wandered about in the forest. Under the spell of nature, Magat asked the woman to be his wife. The woman, after making Magat promise in the name of the great Kabunyan not to see her at noon, consented. He brought her home and made a cozy room for her. Everything went well and happily for a while. But the passing days, his curiosity mounted more and more, and at last it grew out of bounds. One noon, he broke his promise and broke into his wife's seclusion. In his wife's bed of soft leaves and grasses, he beheld a sight that chilled his heart. A great crocodile was lying on his wife's bed, believing that his wife had met a horrible death. He rushed to the kitchen, fetched an ugly weapon, and returned to his wife's room. He raised his weapon to kill the crocodile when suddenly he saw his wife on the bed instead of the crocodile. His wife was dying. "You broke your promise. I can no longer be happy, nor live any longer. I must die." His wife sobbed. Slowly life ebbed from her. On her beautiful skin, scales appeared as she turned into crocodile before his very eyes. That was his punishment for having broken his promise made in the name of Kabunyan. Sadly, Magat buried the dead crocodile in his front yard. worn out by grief for his lack of fidelity to his word, and over the death of his lovely wife. He drowned himself, and his miseries in the same stream grew into the mighty troublesome Magat River.
Oh, okay. Ross Death de Fiesta, entry number 2 is FTB. FTB. Kung nagustuhan nyo si Ross Death, kung nagustuhan nyo yung digital storytelling ni Ross Death, FTB, type FTB 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yan. Nag-screenshot lang ako saglit, ha? Okay. FTB. Marami yatang fancy Rosdeta. Ayan. Okay. And let's get ready for the next one. Hindi pa visible yung ano natin. Next na tayo. Our next entry is Acob Allen Joy. Okay. Miss Acob, go na. Magtawag na ng katropa, okay?
This is storytelling. I am Alan J. Jacob, and today I will going to tell you a story about kindness. This story will make us realize that a heart filled with compassion and love to our fellow human beings is the greatest gift we can give to the world. This story entitled The King and the Beggar. Once upon a time, a country was ruled by the king who had no son to succeed with the throne. Since the king was getting old, he wanted to select a suitable successor to rule the country. The king sent out notices throughout his country. The notice has invited every qualified young man in the country for an interview with the king. The outcome of the interview would decide a possible successor to the throne. The only qualification for the candidate was that they have immense love for their fellow human beings. Every young man across the country was very excited at the possibility of being the ruler of the country. A poor young man from a remote village also read the notice and started to prepare for an interview with the king. The man was a kind and hardworking man, but he was very poor due to various circumstances. He had no clothes to be presentable inside of the king. So the young man worked hard and saved some money to buy him proper clothes and supply to support him for the long journey to the palace. After he got his supplies and proper attire for the interview, the young man set out on his quest. He traveled many days and had almost completed the journey. When he came upon a poor beggar by the side of the road, the beggar extended his arms and pleaded for help. His weak voice croaked, "I am hungry and cold. Please help me, sir," the beggar said. The young man was so moved by the pathetic condition of the beggar that he immediately stripped his new attire and offered to him.
He also provided him with his very limited food he had carried for the journey. The beggar thanked the man 1,000 times, but since the man had given up his good clothes to the beggar, he was a bit hesitant to go to interview. He, however, gathered enough courage to enter the palace in his old dirty clothes. The young man bowed low as the king entered to the room. When he raised his eyes, he gasped in astonishment as he noticed that the king looked very similar to the beggar he had met on the way. "But why did you dress up like a beggar? You are a king. Why did you do this to me?" the poor young man said. "Because I had to be sure that you had a good heart and you genuinely love your fellow human being," said the king. "I knew that if I came to you as a king, you would have done anything to impress me, but that way I would never have known what is truly in your heart. The generosity and love to the one in need without expecting anything in return is the sign of a good heart. Looking at your generosity and love towards the beggar man prove that you sincerely love your fellow human beings. The country needs a leader who would work for the welfare of all the nation, not just the ones who would do anything to get the throne. You have proven that you are the right person to be my successor," the king said to the young man. The kindness and compassion of the young man towards the beggar made him the king of the entire nation. So the moral lesson of this story is that we, as a human being, should help other fellow beings in need without expecting anything in return.
Okay. Okay, that's entry number 3. The code for entry number 3 is, oh my God, hindi pala nakalagay doon. QPE. QPE for entry number 3, which is, who is Alan Joy Acob? 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yan. Nag-stop na tayo. So, screenshot na natin. Marami ding fancy Allen eh. Ayan. Maraming salamat sa support ninyo for Allen and for the previous storytellers natin. Ayan. TTL2. Ayaw magpakita yung BSE. Ayan. Okay. Let's have the next one. Pag in-off ko na yung camera ko, ibig sabihin, plinay ko na to. Ang next natin is Alcantara Leslie. O, join na mga ka-Berks ni Alcantara Leslie. I-mute ko na so we can start off with the video, Digital Storytelling of Alcantara Leslie.
I am Leslie Kulugdan Alcantara, a BSc 3 student, and I'm going to tell you a story about a strong and genuine love of the Ragumatayon and Panganuron for each other.
Long time ago, in a place called Ibalon, there lived a beautiful maiden named Daragang Magayon. She was the daughter of Makusog, the chief of the tribe. One day, Daragang Magayon went to the river, and while crossing the river, she stumbled on a rock and fell quickly in the water. She was swiftly swept downstream by the current. Fortunately, her cries were heard by Pangarunon and his bodyguard Amihan. Pangarunon jumped into the river and saved Daragang Magayon. "Thank you for risking your life to save me," she cried. "How can I repay you? My father is the chief of our tribe. Surely he will reward your heroism, whatever it may take." Daragang Magayon said. Her beauty immediately captivated Pangarunon. From then on, he realized that he had finally met the perfect woman for him. At the same time, Daragang Magayon was instantly attracted to him. Because of that, Pangarunon asked Makusog's permission to marry Daragang Magayon, but Makusog could not permit them to marry. Tribal law forbade marriage outside of the clan, and as a tribe leader, he had to enforce the law. Yet, as a father, he wanted to make her daughter happy. Meanwhile, Patuga learned about Pangaruno's intention. Patuga was the most ardent suitor of Daragang Magayon. For years, he had been convincing her to marry him, but to no avail. One night, Patuga and his cohorts kidnapped Makusog. Then, he sent a word to Daragang Magayon that her father would die if she did not marry him. Without a choice, she acceded. Only then did Patuga release Makusog. Soon, Patuga and Daragang Magayon were wed. But in the midst of the merrymaking, pandemonium broke out when Pangarunon and his men arrived. Fighting ensued between the two tribes. In a few minutes, Pangarunon fatally struck Patuga. However, during the skirmish, a poisoned arrow shot from nowhere fell on Daragang Magayon's breast. Pangarunon rushed to her aid, and as he kneeled over the dying Daragang Magayon, an enemy hacked his head off. After the battle, Daragang Magayon was buried and her death was mourned all over the land. Where she was put to rest, a mountain mysteriously appeared. This mountain is now known as Mayon. It is said that even in death and in another form, she is still haunted by the men who loved her. When Mayon is said to erupt, this is Patuga challenging Pangarunon. But when Mayon is calm, Pangarunon is embracing her. The tears of Pangarunon are shed as rain at times in his grief. Until today, Many are still delighted by the love story behind the legend of the Mayon volcano.
Wow! Love story naman ang gusto pa lang. Nais ni Leslie Alcantara, ha? Ang ganda-ganda pala ng kwento ni Mayon, Okay. So, let's vote for entry number 4. If you like the story, the digital storytelling of entry number 4, let's type BCE. BCE. Okay, BCE 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, nag-stop na tayo at magbibilang na rin tayo ng votes ni Leslie Alcantara, entry number 4. Ayan. Dami, Ang daming fans ni Leslie, O yung mga nagdodoble ng BCE, huwag na nang gagawin yan kasi hindi din naman mabibilang yun. Malilito lang yung ating mga taga-bilang. So, ang gawin nyo, minsan ka lang mag-comment. Wag na paulit-ulit. Okay. Okay, ayan. Nasend ko na mga secretary, ha? Nasend ko na kung ilan yung nasa screen ko. Kasi yung screen po natin ang masusunod, ha? Okay, ang next natin is De La Cruz Apple Jane. Tawagin ng tropa, Miss De La Cruz Apple Jane. Ikaw na ang next. And let's start.
Good day, I am Apple Jean de la Cruz, and today I am going to tell you a story about the careless tiger. Careless tiger. Once there was a very wealthy man who owned a large herd of cattle. He hired a monkey to look after them. The monkey used to take the cattle to the forest every day and bring them back home safely. During the time of the year when the fields were filled with the green paddy, the monkey took the cattle to the forest to graze. From there, he brought the milk, butter, and cheese to the rich man. It just so happened that being in the forest put the cattle in a very frightening situation. There was a cunning tiger which lived nearby. The tiger was very ferocious. One day, when the cattle were grazing, the monkey caught the scent of the tiger. He herded back all the cattle safely home. Sensing the presence of the tiger kept the cattle in constant fear. This made the cows tense and high-strung, leaving them too weak to give more than a little milk. One day, the owner of the cattle called the monkey. "Why are you bringing such a small quantity of milk, butter, and cheese?" "Sir, cows need to be calm and contented to give much milk. Due to a lurking tiger, your cows are always afraid and tense, so they give less milk." "I see. Can we find a hunter who can kill the tiger?" "Sir, the tiger has already killed hunters." "Are you ferocious?" very cunning too. How do you say that? A friend of mine, a swan, helped him when he was sick by giving him food. But when he recovered, he called her and made a dinner of her. How cruel! So anytime my cattle are at risk, sir, if you permit me, I have an idea to kill the tiger. Tell me, sir, there happens to be a variety of deer living in the forest. They are called mini deer because they are so small. Even the adults only grow to be about 1 foot tall. The tiger has become very friendly with a certain mini deer. We can capture the tiger's friend and rub poison all over her body. Then we can wait for a couple days before releasing her. She will be like a bait to trap the tiger. Excellent idea. My cows will be at peace and will be able to give their usual milk. They will be safe and happy again. But who can bring the mini deer? I can lure a deer with some grass and bring him here. According to the plan, the monkey brought the mini deer. The owner smeared the body of the mini deer with poison. After a day, it was left in the forest. When the tiger saw his favorite mini deer back, he was so overjoyed and he threw all caution to the winds. Without even sniffing the air around her, he immediately licking her excitedly all over. Because of too much joy and too little caution, he fell into the poisonous trap. The tiger died on the spot. The owner was very happy and appreciated the clever monkey. You have saved all my cattle from tiger. The cunning will fall into cunningly covered traps. From then on, the monkey took the cattle to the forest, and all the cattle grazed happily in the forest. Too much of anything can be dangerous.
Okay, so that's entry number 5, Miss Apple Jane de la Cruz. And our code for entry number 5 is PLM. PLM 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and tandararan, 1. Okay. So mag-screenshot tayo. Sa mga hindi pa nag-like sa ating live stream, mangyari lamang na i-close nyo ang chat at at i-click lang po yung ating like ha, yung pataas, huwag yung pababa. Like nyo lang po yan. Ayan, para may para masaya. Ayan. Pag-click lang yung like, huwag yung pababa ha. Bad yun. Yung pataas lang. Yung thumbs up lang, huwag thumbs down. Ayan. So, finish na mga secretary na i-send ko na sa inyo yung screenshot ng entry number 5. Okay, let's see kung sino yung susunod ha. Next natin is Delfinado Diane Pearl. Isusulat ko din. Diane Pearl Delfinado. Ayan. So, mag-off na tayo ng mic.
Hi, I am Diane Pearl A. Delfinado, and today I am going to tell you a story about the ant and the grasshopper. There once was a grasshopper who liked to play with his flute. Then one day, he met a large group of ants, all of them carrying loot. "What are you doing?" asked the grasshopper, wanting to know. "We are gathering food for the winter," they replied, "before it starts to snow." But the grasshopper played with his flute without a single care. While the ants had to carry apples and peaches and even a pear. Then the grasshopper saw a berry and took it in one go. That made the ant angry. But then it started to snow. The ant took the berry back and quickly ran away. While the grasshopper took his flute and continued to play. Then a blizzard came around and the grasshopper had nothing to eat. So he went to the ant's home, hoping to meet. He looked through their window, and what did he see? He saw ants laughing and eating and full of glee. So he knocked on a door, and it opened to show the ant he met earlier. Now wondering what the grasshopper was here for. "Can I have some food?" asked the grasshopper, hoping for a bite. "You did not work," said the ant, "so nothing for you, and it serves you right." So the grasshopper walked away with nowhere to go. But he learned his lesson next summer and was now in the know. Today, he helps with the work and has made amends. and now spends winter with the ants, his newfound friends. They walked away with nowhere to go. Asked the grasshopper, hoping for a bite. "You did not work," said the ant, "so nothing for you, and it serves you right."
Okay, wala na. Nag-black na lang siya. Dayan. Dito sa akin, meron siyang sound pero, ayan, i-try ulit natin ha. CapCut, sabi na niya. Okay. Ano ba yan? Talagang auditory learning,
So the
sabi niya. Wala
grasshopper
na.
walked away with nowhere to go.
Ayan, wala na. Naka-black na lang talaga siya. So, inulit ko ha, pero wala. Ganun pa rin siya. So, I do not know kung anong nangyari sa in-upload mo. Okay, so mag-vote na tayo anyway. Okay naman, nakita naman natin yung first part niya. So, mag-vote na tayo for Diane Pearl. Entry number 6 is MJP. MJP. Entry number 6 is MJP. MJP 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Sa mga hindi pa po nag-like sa ating live stream ka ako tuloy. Sa ating live stream, mangyaring mag-thumbs up lang po. Ipindot lang ang X dyan sa live chat. Makikita nyo na kaagad yung thumbs up. Huwag po yung thumbs down ha. Yung thumbs up lang. Ayan. Tapos bumalik po kayo dito sa live chat para ipagpatuloy natin. Let's continue ang mga nasimulan nating magagandang bagay. Okay? Ang next natin dito ay si Beverly. Si Beverly Omnas. Siya na ang next natin dito. Ayan. Si Miss Omnas ang next. So, off na.
Good day, everyone. I am Beverly Omnas, and today I will tell you the story of Medusa and Athena.
The story of Medusa and Athena. A long time ago, there was a young maiden named Medusa. She lived in a place called Athens in Greece. Medusa was very proud of her beauty and boasted about it to everyone around her. One day, she would brag about her beautiful skin, which was as fair as milk. Another day, about her flowing hair. And yet,
Another day about her pretty green eyes and red lips. She would not miss any chance to admire herself while she brushed her hair, or when she passed the bedroom window, or when she drew water for her father's horses. She would always daydream, and all her chores would be forgotten. People around her were tired of her boastful nature and gave her the cold shoulder. One day, she paid a visit to the Parthenon with her friends. The Parthenon was the largest temple of Athena, the goddess of wisdom. People were grateful to Goddess Athena for inspiring them and watching over Athens. Everyone except Medusa was awed by the beauty of the temple and the amazing sculptures and paintings that decorated it. Medusa thought she would have made a better subject for the sculpture than Goddess Athena. When Medusa passed the hallway and reached the altar, she sighed and said,
It is beautiful temple. It is a shame it was wasted on Goddess Athena, for I am much prettier than she is. Perhaps someday people will build a grander temple to my beauty.
Medusa's friends grew pale, and the priestess gasped when they heard her. People began to leave the temple as they feared what might happen if the goddess had overheard Medusa's rash remarks. All this while, Medusa was very busy gazing proudly at her reflection in a large bronze doors. Suddenly, her reflection wavered at the face of Goddess Athena, appeared in front of her. Goddess Athena said angrily,
You foolish girl, you think you're prettier than I am? I doubt it. And even if it is well, there is more to life than beauty alone. While others work, play, and learn, you do nothing but boast and admire yourself. You should have your heart in the right place.
But my beauty is an inspiration of others, and I make their lives better by simply looking lovely,
justified Medusa. Goddess Athena silenced her with a frustrated wave.
Nonsense,
retorted Goddess Athena.
Beauty does not comfort the sick, teach the unskilled, or feed the hungry. And by my power, your beauty shall be stripped away completely. This will be a reminder for others to control their life.
As soon as Goddess Athena had uttered these words, Medusa's face changed to that of the hideous monster. Her hair twisted and thickened to horrible snakes that hissed and tossed with each other atop her head.
Medusa, this is the result of your pride. Your face is so terrible that anyone who sees you shall be turned into stone,
proclaimed Goddess Athena.
Even you shall turn into stone if you see your reflection.
And with that, Goddess Athena left, leaving Medusa weeping and in shock. A Greek legend.
Thank you for watching.
Okay, so that's Beverly Omnas entry number 7, and the code is XPL. The code is XPL. XPL. The code is XPL. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, okay, that's entry number 7, Miss Beverly Omnas. Yan, yung kwento ni Medusa. Alam niyo, gustong-gusto ko ang Greek mythology. Yan ang favorite ko sa literature. Lalong-lalo yung mga kwentong yan. Diyos ko po. Ayan. Ayan ha. Sinend ko na mga secretary ha. Ayan. Yun na yung screenshot natin. Our next entry is Dunwan Liza. Dunwan Liza. The Wedding Dance. Ay, bongga. The Wedding Dance pala ang kay Liza. Okay, Miss Liza Soberano, it's your time to shine. I-off ko na ang anek, ang mute na.
Have a good day, everyone. I am Lisa Dunwan, and today I will share the story of The Wedding Dance. It was written by Amador Daggio.
Long time ago, in a one mountain somewhere in the Philippines, there was a couple named Awiyaw and Lumnay. They were married for a long time, but Awiyaw, Lumnay's husband, has to marry another girl named Madolimay. And the reason why? Let us all find out as we go on a journey to the past, witnessing what happened to Lumnay and Awiyaw's love story. On the night of the wedding of Awiyaw and Madolimay, Awiyaw went to Lumnay's house to personally invite his ex-wife to join the dance.
I came home because I did not find you among the dancers. Of course, I'm not forcing you to join my wedding. I came to tell you that Madulimay, although I am marrying her, can never become as good as you are. You are one of the best wives in the whole village.
Go back to the dance. They will wonder where you are, and Madolimay will not feel good. Please go back to the dance. Lumnay refuses to join the dance even she is the best dancer in their tribe.
I would feel better if you would come and dance for the last time.
Awiyaw, I'm sorry. You know that I cannot. So please.
Lumnay, if I did this, it is because of my need for a child. You know that life is not worth living without a child. The men have mocked me behind my back. You know that.
They had a heart-to-heart talk about their separation, and on their conversation, they found out that they still love each other, but they have to separate because their tribe's custom that every man in their tribe should have one child or more children that would carry their name. And if their wife cannot give them a child, they can marry another woman. Lumnay can hardly let go of her husband. The two both agreed that if Awiyaw's second marriage did not work, he will go back to Lumnay's arms, and this was sealed by the beads that Lumnay will keep. Then Awiyaw goes back to the wedding because someone is calling him already. After being fetched by others, Lumnay decided to go to the wedding, not to dance or to join the celebration,
but to stop the wedding. She decided to break the unwritten law of her tribe, but when she is near, all her guts to stop the wedding suddenly disappeared. She did not have the courage to break the wedding feast. So then, Lumnai walked away from the dancing ground, away from the village. She went to the mountain instead, and in the mountain is where she diverted all her bitterness in her, and she humbly accepted the truth that she must need to let go. And that was the end of the story of the wedding dance. This story shown that Awiyao and Dumnay have to follow the belief, culture, and custom of their tribe despite of their love to each other. This story tells us to truly understand and be able to share love takes the sacrifice of oneself. It's realizing that love is not about you or what you can get. It's about you and you have to give, as Michael Springer said.
Afu, aduman yung tinaka-relate itan nga the wedding dansen. Makadag sangit-sangit pa itan damdama. Entry number 8. The code for entry number 8, kung nagustuhan nyo siya, iboto siya. PXY. PXY for Lisa Donwan, Liza Soberano. Ayan. Pwede ding Lisa sa sa Blackpink. PXY 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stop. Okay. Madami ding fans itong si, Liza Soberano, Yan. Okay. Sending sa mga hindi pa po nag-like sa ating live stream. Paki-like po, ha? Paki-like po ang ating live stream para mas masaya. Okay. Secretaries, nakasend na. Ang next natin ay sino ba next dito? Galano, Gian. Ikaw na ang next, Miss Galano. Tawagin ng tropa. Ayan. Next ka na, Miss Galano. Ino-off ko to kung kasi.
Hello everyone, I am Gian Galano, Bachelor of Secondary Education 3, major in English. And today, I am going to tell you the story about the fox and the crow. One bright morning, a fox was walking through the forest, following his sharp nose through the wood in search of a bite to eat. When he saw a crow sitting on a tree branch with a fine piece of cheese in her beak. He said, "I'd like to have a bite of that cheese. It will be easy to get some." He walked up to the foot of the tree. What a noble and gracious bird I see in the tree, said the fox. The crow, her head cocked on one side, watched the fox suspiciously, but she kept her beak tightly closed on the cheese and did not return his greeting. How glossy your feathers! How bright your eye! I feel sure your voice must surpass that of other birds. It would please my ears to hear you sing a little melody. Well, the crow was so flattered on hearing such a complimentary talks that he opened up her beak and began to squawk and sing. Tweet, 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 tweet. Down fell the cheese into the waiting mouth of the fox below. Oh no! Squawked the crow. You've stolen my dinner! Why did you do that? That will do, said the fox. That was all I wanted. In exchange for your cheese, I will give you a piece of advice for the future. Do not trust flatterers. The moral lesson in the story is beware of flattery. The flatterer lives at the expense of those who will listen to him.
Naku, maraming fancy. Si Gian Tinalo mo na yung mga artista, ha? Ganda daw ng boses mo. May nagko-comment dyan. Okay, ang code natin for Gian Galano, entry number 9 is XEL. XEL 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sa mga kakapasok lang po, huwag kakalimutang mag-like sa ating live stream At para pag may next ulit kaming live stream, notify kayo, mag-subscribe at hit the notification bell. All, sabi niya. Learn. Yan, sa mga interested dyan sa English lessons, we have lots of English lessons. Paki-check nyo lang ang mga playlist natin for complete list of our lessons. Major subjects, meron ding mga basic English subjects. Okay, our next one is Rona Jane Gieb. Okay. Mag-off na tayo. Tawagin na ang buong pamilya at barangay. Rona Jane, eto na, ikaw na.
I am Rona Jane Gebb, and today I am going to tell you the story about the legend of Mayon Volcano. Once upon a time, there was a legend that comes from the kingdom of Albay. We can see here a powerful king named Raha Makuso. He has a daughter named Daragang Magayon, which means beautiful girl. Daragang beauty is known to many regions. That's why she has lot of suitors that are famous gentlemen. Those famous gentlemen are still walking a long way to visit Daragang and express their love for her, also to see her beauty. On Daragang Magayon's pancinator was the son of Raha named Bagtuga. Bagtuga went to distant places where the offering was precious gold treasures. The maiden denied on the ground that it was not just he was looking for the gentleman. Despite the girl's refusal, Bagtuga was still confident and boasted that he would have the girl as well. On the other side of the ocean, Alapaap, a polite, a strong, and well-intentioned son of Lakan, heard the news and he went to Bicol just to find Daragang Magayon. Alapaap observed the place where Daragang Magayon often went. It is said that this is the river that the maiden often goes to. In the depth of water, he rescued the drowning lady, and he didn't expect that the one he saved was Daragang Magayon. "Who are you? I don't know you." Alapaap was very happy when he saw the girl. "Daragang Magayon, I am Alapaap, traveled from far away just to see you." He put a blanket on her and gave her a flower. Since then, Alapaap intends to visit Daragang Magayon again. Eventually, met and decided to get married. But Daragang Magayon is worried about something. Her father needed to know about it. Alapaap told her not to worry and he would ask for a blessing from him. But when the two returned, Bagtuga was waiting. He said that according to his spy, he had tracked down the two. Bagtuga took Raha Makusog by force and said he would only release him if he got married the girl. The girl agreed to save her father. A few days later, on the ceremony of Daragang Magayon and Bagtuga, Alapaap came to rescue Daragang Magayon from Bagtuga's hand. Alapaap challenged Bagtuga with sword. They fight for Daragang Magayon, and this time they are exchanging skills when it comes to war. Bagtuga's men joined the battle, and all of the three was died at the same time. Magayon, who watched the spectacle, fear, ran into her lover's arms for a kiss. As they embraced, one of Bagtuga's warriors shot a final arrow into the heart of Alapaap, killing him instantly. In a Shakespearean twist, Magayon thrust a knife from Alapaap's belt into her own heart, calling out his name in her last words. Because of what happened, there was a strong earthquake and thunder. Red Valley grew a very high mound of soil on which the remains of Alapaap and Daragang Magayon were laid. It erupts a lot of lava over a long period of time and form a large volcano in the province. Here in Albay is located a very beautiful and enormous view called Mayon Volcano, and every time it emits lava and high smoke, it seems to see the two lovers, Alapaap and Daragang Magayon, molded into the smoke of volcano, a reminder of the romance of the two that over time will prove their love.
Okay, that's entry number 10. Entry number 10, Rona Jean Yeb. We have Y-R, Y-A, no ba? Y-A-R. Okay. Y-A-R. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's screenshot this one. Okay. Scroll natin. Okay, sa mga hindi pa nag-like dyan ha, ang dami naman ng bumoto kay entry number 10. Kay Rona. Pati yung ubo mo pala nakuha eh. Okay. Rona yan. Ay, yung mga secretary ko sinend ko na dyan. Diyan na ang score. Okay. Next tayo. Angelica Julian. Angelica Julian ang next natin. Go na, go na. Angelica, prepare na.
I am Angelica Julian from BSD3, and today I am going to tell you a story about Mela the ladybug. Mela, the ladybug, was flying through the forest with all the other ladybugs. They flew for a long time and they could all fly really high. They loved exploring the forest and they always found plenty of food. The ladybugs were happy, but one day, one of the ladybugs had an idea. "Come and get your ladybug boots," the ladybug said. "If you get ladybug boots, you'll be the best ladybug in the forest." All of the ladybugs in line and they got all ladybug boots. The next day, when the ladybugs went flying through the forest, they couldn't fly very fast. The ladybug boots were too heavy. Mela wanted to take off the ladybug boots, but Mela was afraid that the other ladybugs would make fun of her. So she kept her ladybug boots on and she followed the other ladybugs. Then another one of the ladybugs had an idea. Come and get your super wings, the ladybug said. If you have super wings, you can fly higher than all the other ladybugs. All of the ladybugs got in line and they all got super wings. The next day, when the ladybugs went flying in the forest, they could fly a little higher, but they couldn't fly for a very long time. Their super wings made their arms too tired. Mela wanted to take off her super wings so that she could fly high again. But Mela was afraid that the other ladybugs would make fun of her. So she kept her super wings on and she followed the other ladybugs. Then another one of the ladybugs had an idea. Come and get your fancy rocks, the ladybug said. You will be the fanciest ladybug in the forest if you get a fancy rock. All of the ladybugs got in line and they all got fancy rock. The next day, when the ladybugs tried to go flying through the forest, they couldn't fly at all. The rocks were too heavy. So the ladybugs just walked through the forest instead. Mela wanted to take off the fancy rock so that she could fly high again. But Mela was afraid that the other ladybugs would make fun of her. So Mela kept the fancy rocks on and she followed all of the other ladybugs. Then, another one of the ladybugs had an idea. Come and take a turn on the ladybug lift. You can fly high up in the forest and you don't even have to flap your wings. All of the ladybugs got in line, so they could have a turn to ride the ladybug lift. But this time, Mela did something different. She climbed up a tree and sat on a leaf to think. The other ladybugs keep telling me that these things will be good for me, but they have only been bad for me, she said. I'm not going to follow them anymore. Heavenly Father created ladybugs, and I think He knows the best way for ladybugs to be happy. I'm going to start following Heavenly Father again. Then, Mela took off the fancy rock, and she took off the super wings, and she took off the ladybug boots, and she flew high in the sky again. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and Mammon.
Okay, that's entry number 11. Entry number 10 kanina si Rona Jane. Okay, nandito sa list ko. Don't worry. NRM is our code for Angelica Julian. Entry number 11, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Nag-stop na tayo. Magpipicture lang ako. Okay. Let's have... We're scrolling down until stop. Ayan. So, we will have to send this to Secretariat. Tapos na. Okay, next na tayo. Laicano, Desiree Joy, The Ugly Duckling. Pang high school ba yan? Okay. The ugly duckling.
It was a fine summer afternoon. Mother Duck found a lovely spot under a tree by the pond to lay her eggs. She laid 5 eggs. Suddenly, she noticed that one of the eggs was different from the other eggs. She got a little worried. She waited for them to hatch. One fine morning at last, one after another, the eggs began to crack. Beep beep, they said. All the eggs come alive and the duckling were poking their heads out into the big world. All broke except one.
This last egg is taking such a long time.
She sat on the egg and gave it all the warmth that it could give.
This would be the most beautiful duckling of all, since this is taking so much time to hatch.
One fine morning, when the egg broke, there came out an ugly gray-colored duckling. This duckling was different from its other siblings. It was very big and rather ugly.
None of my other ducklings look like that. This one's perhaps ugly.
The mother duck was surprised to see her and was very sad. Mother hoped that one day she would become just like her siblings. But days went by, and the duckling remained ugly. All her brothers made fun of the duckling, and they would not play with him. The duckling was very sad.
You are ugly! Look at that ugly thing on Earth! Yeah, go away. You're so ugly. We will not play with you, you ugly monster.
They all laughed at him. The ugly duckling was very sad. The ugly duckling went to the pond and looked at his reflection in the pond.
Nobody likes me. I'm so ugly.
The duckling decided to leave the family and go somewhere deep into the woods. The duckling wandered all alone in the deep forest. Soon, when winters came by, there was snow all around. The duckling was sad and he shivered with cold but couldn't find any food to eat or a warm place to be in. He went to a family of ducks, but they rejected him. He went to stay in the hen's house. There the hens pecked him with their beaks, so he ran away. He met a dog on the way, but the dog saw him and went away.
I'm so ugly that even the dog doesn't want to eat me.
The ugly duckling sadly started wandering in the woods again, walking and walking until he saw a river. He was so happy to see the water again. He went close to the river when he saw a beautiful swan swimming. The ugly duckling was ashamed of himself and bowed his head low. When he bent his head, he saw his own reflections in the water and was astonished. He wasn't ugly anymore. He had turned into a handsome young swan. Now, he realized why he looked different from his siblings, because he was a swan and they were ducks. This is Desiree John Laicano from BSE 3. Thank you for watching.
Okay, that's entry number 12, Desiree Joy Laicano. We have MON, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yan. Nasend na. Nasend na ang stop natin. So, ang next natin dyan ay si Lucas Aiza. Okay, mag-ready ka na, Lucas. Aisa, nakita ko siya dyan, nagko-comment kanina. Okay, mag-screenshot lang ako. Then ipa-play ko na siya. Okay, Lucas Aisa.
Hi, today I am going to tell you a story about the ugly duckling. It was a bright summer afternoon. Mother Duck found a lovely spot under a tree by the pond to lay her eggs. She laid 5 eggs. Suddenly, she noticed that one of the eggs was different from the other eggs. She got a little worried. She waited for them to hatch. One fine morning, at last, one after another, the eggs began to crack. Peep, peep, they said. All the eggs had come alive, and the ducklings were poking their heads out into the big world. All broke except one. Oh, what sweet babies I have! What a lucky mother I am! But what happened to the fifth one? The duck was worried. This last egg is taking such a long time. She sat on the egg and gave it all the warmth that it could give. This would be the most beautiful duckling of all, said. Mother hoped that one day she would become just like her siblings. But days went by and the duckling remained ugly. All her brothers and sisters made fun of the duckling and they would not play with him. The duckling was very sad. You are ugly. Look at that ugly little thing on the earth, ha ha ha. Yeah, go away, you're so ugly. We will not play with you, you ugly monster. They all laughed at him. The ugly duckling went to the pond and looked at his reflection in the pond. Nobody likes me. I am so ugly. The duckling decided to leave the family and go somewhere deep into the woods. The duckling wandered all alone in the deep forest. Soon, when winter came by, there was snow all around. The duckling went in. He went to a family of ducks. They rejected him. You are an ugly chap. Who is this ugly fellow? He went to stay in the hen's house. There, the hens pecked him with their beaks, so he ran away. He met a dog on the way. The dog saw him and went away. The ugly duckling thought to himself, I'm so ugly that even the dog doesn't want to eat me.
Okay, entry number 13. Isa Lucas, we have MOP. MOP 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, And da-da-da-dan, 1. Humabol pa. 1. Okay. Screenshot lang tayo ha. Sino na ang next dyan? Ang next natin dito ay si Luz Alisa Andaya. Si Miss
Good day, everyone. I am Luz Alisa Diandaya, and today I'm going to tell you a story about the bear and the two friends. Once upon a time, two friends named Vijay and Raju. On a holiday, they went walking into a forest, enjoying the beauty of the nature. But it was a dangerous forest with many wild animals. There were lions, bears, snakes, and even poisonous spiders in the forest. As the two friends entered the forest, they were gripped with fear of what lay ahead.
I'm so scared. I wish we didn't have to go through this forest,
said Raju. I agree with you, but we have no choice. We must cross the forest to get to the other village, said Vijay.
What if we get into trouble? No, let's promise that if any of us gets in trouble, the other will not run away. He will stay and help the one who is in trouble,
said Raju. Yes, I promise, my friend, I won't leave you alone if you are in trouble, said Vijay.
And I promise you the same, my friend. And I'm feeling less scared now. I think now I can easily cross the forest,
said Raju. I am glad. So, let's go, said Vijay. After some time of walking through the forest, the two friends heard a rustling sound from the bushes ahead of them. They stopped in their tracks.
What do you think it is?
asked Raju. Shh! Silent! I don't know. I can't see clearly. Can you? asked Vijay to Raju. Just then a large, dark figure appeared ahead of them. Oh no! It's a wild bear! It hasn't seen us yet! Run! After saying, Vijay climbed up a tall tree and sat one of its branches. But his friend Raju did not know how to climb a tree. My friend, I don't know how to climb a tree. Please help me climb it, shouted Raju. But Vijay on the tree did not help him. Instead, he shook his head and held close to the tree. Raju on the ground saw the bear approaching him and quickly lay down on the spot. He had heard that bears do not attack dead things. So he closed his eyes, held his breath, and lay very, very still. The bear close to him. It came close to his head and sniffed and smelled his ear to see if Raju was breathing. But Raju held his breath, thinking that he was dead. The bear left him and moved on. After the bear had left, Vijay from the tree came down.
Are you alright?
asked Vijay.
Oh, yes, that was a close call,
said Raju. True, it was, my friend. I saw the bear come close to your ear and whisper something. What did it say to you?
You know what? The bear told me to beware of a false friend and not keep such company.
And that is the end of the story. And now, here's the moral of the story. A friend who does not help you in times of need is not a true friend. A true friend is the one who always supports and stands by your side in any situation. A friend in need is a friend in Thank you for watching and listening. God bless. Bye.
Okay, that's entry number 14. And the code for entry number 14 is EFL. EFL. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.5. Ay, hindi pala 1.5 pala. And 1. Okay. Ang next natin ay Mercado. Mercado Maria Gracia. Mercado Maria Gracia.
Hello everyone, I'm Maria Gracia G. Mercado and I will share you the story, The Legend of the Timon Mask.
Once upon a time, not far from a jungle, lived husband and a wife. They were farmers. They were diligent farmers and always worked hard on the paddy fields. They had been married for many years and still not have a child yet. Every day they prayed and prayed for a child. One night, while they were praying, a giant passed their house. The giant heard their prayer.
Don't worry, farmers. I give you a child, but you have to give me that child when she is 17 years old,
said the giant. The farmers were so happy. They did not think about the risk of losing their child later and agreed to take the offer. Later, the giant gave them a bunch of cucumber seeds. The farmers planted them carefully. Then the seeds changed into a plant. Not longer after that, a big golden cucumber grew from the plants. After it had ripe, the farmers picked and cut it. They were very surprised to see a beautiful girl inside the cucumber. They named her Timon Mas, or golden cucumber. Years passed by and by. Timon Mas has changed into a beautiful girl. On her 17th birthday, Timon Mas was very happy. However, the parents were very sad. They knew they had to keep their promise to the giant, but they also did not want to lose their beloved daughter.
My daughter, take this bag. It can save you from the giant,
said the father. What do you mean, father? I don't understand, said Timon Mas. Right after that, the giant came into their house. Timon Mas, save your life, said the mother. The giant was angry. He knew the farmers wanted to break their promise. He chased Timon Mas away. The giant was getting closer and closer. Timon Mas was opened the bag and threw a handful of salt. It became a sea. The giant had to swim across the sea. Later, Timon Mas threw some chili. It became a jungle
with trees. The trees had sharp thorns, so they hurt the giant. However, the giant was still able to chase Timon Mas. Timon Mas took her third magic staff. It was cucumber seeds. She threw them and became a cucumber field. But the giant still could escape from the field. Then it was the last magic staff she had in the bag. It was a shrimp paste. Terasi. She threw it and became a big swamp. The giant was still trying to swim the swamp, but he was very tired. Then he was drowning and died. Timon Mas was immediately went home. The farmers were so happy and they finally together again.
Okay, that's Miss Maria Gracia Mercado, entry number 15, and your code is MLP 20 19 18 17 16 15 14 13 12 11 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 Quang, 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 quang. 1. Oh, yan na ha. Okay, ang next natin ay Sia Nicolas Gemaline. Ayan na.
I am Gemaline M. Nicolas, and today I am going to tell you a story about the lion and the mouse.
The Lion and the Mouse.
A lion lay asleep in the forest, his great head resting on his paws. A timid little mouse came upon him unexpectedly, and in her fright and haste to get away, ran across the lion's nose. Roused from his nap, the lion laid his huge paw angrily on the tiny creature to kill her. "Spare me," begged the poor mouse. "Please let me go, and someday I will surely repay you." The lion was much amused to think that a mouse could ever help him, but he was generous and finally let the mouse go. Some days later, while staking his prey in the forest, the lion was caught in the toils of a hunter's net. Unable to free himself, he filled the forest with his angry roaring. The mouse knew the voice and quickly found the lion struggling in the net. Running to one of the great ropes that bound him, she wound it until it parted, and soon the lion was free. "You laughed when I said I would repay you," said the mouse. "Now you see that even a mouse can help a lion. A kindness is never wasted." And that is the story of the lion and the mouse.
Okay, that was quick pero maganda. Okay, next. Ay, hindi pa pala next. Mag-ano muna tayo? Mag-vote muna tayo. TVL for entry number 16, Gemaline Nicolas, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 12, 15, 12, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5, and 1. Okay. Ang next natin ay Sia Ordonez Kimberly. Okay, Ordonez.
I am Kimberly Ordonez and I'm going to tell you a story of a largest lake in Indonesia and the deepest volcanic lake in the world.
The Legend of Lake Toba.
Once upon a time, in North Sumatra, lived a young man named Toba. He lived in a simple hut in a farming field. He did some gardening and fishing for his daily life. One day, while Toba was do fishing, he caught a big golden fish in his trap. It was the biggest catch which he ever had in his life. Surprisingly, the fish turned into a beautiful princess. He fell in love with her and proposed to her to be his wife. She said, "Yes, but you have to promise me not to tell anyone about my secret that I was once a fish. Otherwise, there will be a huge disaster." The man made the deal and they got married, lived happily, and had a son named Samusur. Samusur became stubborn, lazy, and a mischievous kid because they too spoiled him. One day, when Samusur would help bringing lunch to his father in the fields, he ate his father's lunch until it is remaining few. And when Toba opened his lunchbox, he is surprised. It is empty, nothing left in there. Toba felt really upset with his son, and suddenly he said something rude that was forbidden. "Your manner is like a little animal. It is because your mother is a fish, so you are like her. Go away from her." Toba didn't realize that what he said was so rude. He was forbidden to tell about Samusur's mother's origin. Samusur sad and tell all to his mother. "Calm down, Samusur. Don't cry anymore. Now, all you have to do is climb to the highest mountain and stay there. There will be a huge flood, and this village will be sink and disappear," said mother. Samusur went away and climbed to the highest mountain in the village. Soon, there was a big earthquake followed by the non-stop pouring rain. The whole area got flooded and became Toba Lake. She turned into a fish again, and the man became the island of Samosir. Moral lesson of this story: do not break the promise that we have made. Because of this story, people call this place as Lake Toba. Toba means ungrateful, but by the times, it changed to a Lake Toba. Well, at the center of a lake, this small island, it is called as the island of Samosir. People may forget the man, but the lake stayed forever.
Okay, that's entry number 17, Kimberly Ordonez, and the SQK is the code. SQK 9, 10, 20, 10, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Habol pa yung iba dyan. Habol pa. Okay, next natin, I see who is our next storyteller. Ramoran Lorinel. Ayan. Ayaw mag-play nung kay Lorinel. Anong nangyari? Ikot lang ng ikot yung kay Lorinel. Bakit ganon? Ayan na, yan na, yan na. Mahina na.
Good day everyone. I am Lorinel Ramoran. And I am going to tell you a story about Cinderella.
The story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful girl named Cinderella. She lived with her weak stepmother and two stepsisters. They treated Cinderella very badly. One day, they were invited to a grand ball in King's palace. But Cinderella's stepmother would not let her go. Cinderella was made to sew new party gowns for her stepmother and stepsisters, and curl their hair too. They then went to the ball, leaving Cinderella alone at home. Cinderella felt very sad and began to cry. Suddenly, a fairy godmother appeared and said, "Don't cry, Cinderella. I will send you to the ball." But Cinderella was sad. She said, "I don't have a gown to wear for the ball." The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and changed Cinderella's old clothes into a beautiful new gown. The fairy godmother then touched Cinderella's feet with the magic wand, and immediately she had beautiful glass slippers. "How will I go to the grand ball?" asked Cinderella. The fairy godmother found 6 mice playing near a pumpkin in the kitchen. She touched them with her magic wand, and the mice became 4 shiny black horses and 2 coachmen, and the pumpkin turned into a golden coach. Cinderella was overjoyed and set off for the ball with the couch drawn with the 6 black horses. Before leaving, the fairy godmother said, Cinderella, this magic will only last until midnight. You must reach home by then. When Cinderella entered the palace, everybody was struck by her beauty. Nobody, and not even Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters, knew who she really was in her pretty clothes and shoes. The handsome prince also saw her and fell in love with Cinderella. He went to her and asked, Do you want to dance? And Cinderella said, Yes. The prince danced with her all night and nobody recognized the beautiful dancer. Cinderella was so happy dancing with the prince that she almost forgot what the fairy godmother had said. At the last moment, Cinderella remembered her fairy godmother's words and she rushed to go home. Oh, I must go! She cried and ran out of the palace. One of her glass slippers came off, but Cinderella did not turn back for it. She reached home just as the clock struck 12. Her couch turned back into a pumpkin, the horses into mice, and her fine ball gown into rags. Her stepmother and stepsisters reached home shortly after that. They were talking about the beautiful lady who had been dancing with the prince. The prince had fallen in love with the Cinderella and wanted to find out who the beautiful girl was, but he did not even know her name. He found the glass slipper that had came off Cinderella's foot as she ran home. The prince said, I will find her. The lady whose foot fits this slipper will be the one I marry. The next day, the prince and his servants took the glass slipper and went to all the houses in the kingdom. They wanted to find the lady whose feet would fit in the slipper. All the women in the kingdom tried the slipper, but it would not fit. Cinderella's stepsisters also tried on the little glass slipper. They tried to squeeze their feet and push hard into the slipper. But the servant was afraid the slipper would break. Cinderella's stepmother would not let her try the slipper on, but the prince saw her and said, Let her also try on the slipper. The slipper fit her perfectly. The prince recognized her from the ball. He married Cinderella, and together they lived happily ever after. The end. Thank you.
Okay, entry number 18. 18 ba? 18 na si Lorinel. Okay, 18. RST. Okay. Na 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yan na. Screenshot ko na nga kaagad. Nakalimutan ko kung yung screenshot. Yan. Okay. Next na tayo. Okay, so Rochelle, Sebastian. Wait. Tama, Lorinel Ramoran yung kanina. Rochelle Sebastian.
Good day, everyone. I am
especially guys Sebastian, and today I'm going to tell you a story about advising a fool. A short story advising a fool. On a mango tree in the jungle, there lived many birds. They were happy in their small nests. Before the onset of the rainy season, all the animals of the jungle repaired their homes. The birds also made their homes more secure. Many birds brought twigs and leaves, and others wove their nests. We should also store some food for our children, grief of the birds, and they collected food until they had enough to see them through the rainy season. They keep themselves busy preparing for the tough times. Soon the rains came. It was followed by the thunder and lightning. All the animals and birds stayed in their homes. It continued rainy for many days. One day, a monkey went in the rain came into the forest. He sat on a branch, shivering with the cold water dripping from its body. The poor monkey tried his best to get shelter, but in vain. The leaves were not enough to save him from the rain. Brr, it's so cold, said the monkey. The birds were watching all this. They felt sorry for the monkey, but there was little they could do for him. One of them said, "Brother, our small nests are not enough to give you shelter." Another bird said, "All of us prepared for the rainy season. If you had, you would not be in this piteous situation. How dare you to tell me what to do?" said the man.
Ayan, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Wala nang next dito, si Jericho na lang ang next natin. Yung nag-upload, Revin, wala naman, wala naman sa ano natin, wala naman dito sa Google Drive natin yung sinabi mong uploaded, Revin. Wala. Mr. Kawan, wala. Ay, wait lang. Share screen ulit tayo, ha? Nasa ibang ano kasi yung kay Jericho. Okay, next na tayo kay Jericho. Ayan, entry number 20 si Jericho.
Hello everyone. I'm Jericho H. Ramos, and today I'm going to tell you the story about the 3 pieces of advice. Okay, let's start. In a small village, a young newly couple was very poor and was struggling to survive the small farm. So the farmer decided to leave home to find better job. Before setting off, he told his wife, "My love, for work I have 2 houses, and I may be gone for a long time. But I will always remain faithful to you. Would you promise me the same?" "Yes, I will wait for you and always be faithful to you," said his wife as they embraced. The young man left, and after many days of walking, the man came to a small town. And found a job. He asked his boss to save all his wages until he was ready to return home. And his boss agreed. After many years, the man told his boss, "It's time for me to leave. Please give me all the money that I've earned during my works here." The boss said, "You work hard and earn a large sum of money. However, I want to make you an offer. You will take the money and send you away. Or I will give you 3 pieces of advice and send you away." "I will not give you the money now. Go to your room and think about your answer." The man pondered it for 2 days, then told his boss, "I've decided not to take the money. Please give me the 3 pieces of advice." The boss smiled. "Firstly, don't take any shortcuts in life, as it can be very costly and may even end your life. Secondly, never be too curious, or curiosity towards evil can be deadly. And finally, never make decisions when you are angry or pain, because you will suffer." Endless repent. The boss gave him 3 loaves of bread and said, "The first 2 loaves are for your journey, and the third one is for when you return home." The man thanked the boss and set off. On the first day, he met a traveler, asking him, "Where are you going?" The man replied, "I'm going home after many years of laboring. I have to walk on this road for 20 days. The stranger said, "I'll show you a shortcut." Which is very safe and much quicker, and only takes you 5 days. So the man began to follow the path suggested, but suddenly, he remembered the first piece of advice. Don't take any shortcuts in life, as it can be very costly and end your life. And turn around to continue on the long road. Days later, he learned that the shortcut led to an ambush, and it is good that he avoided it. After a few days of travel, he found a rent house and asked the owner for a whole night. While he was sleeping, he He woke up as he heard a terrifying scream. He jumped to his feet and almost opened the door to check what happened. But then he remembered the second piece of advice. Never be too curious, for curiosity towards evil can be deadly. And went back to sleep. At the morning, the owner told him the scream at night. He affirmed that he heard. Then the owner said, "You are the first guest that leaves this rent house alive." My neighbor completely crazy. He usually shouts at night to call someone's attention, and when some come out, he kills it and buries their body in the backyard. After 20 weary days and nights, that man made it home. It was evening, and there was a light in the window. Filled with joyful anticipation, he walked to the window, but his joy turned into shock and anger when he saw his wife that she was not alone. He came closer and saw there was a man with her. Hatred filled his heart, and he went to confront and kill them both. But then he remembered the third pieces of advice. Never make decisions when you are angry or pained because you will suffer endless regret. And restrained himself. That night he stayed outside. When the sun rose, he had calmed down and thought, "I will going back to my boss and ask him to take me back, and I will not kill my wife and her lover. But before I leave, I must tell her that I remain faithful all this time." He knocked on the door, and she opened it. And when she recognized, he rushed into his arms, but harshly pushed her away, and tearfully said, "I have remained faithful to you all these years, but you betrayed me." She was shocked with that accusation and replied, "No, I didn't. I saw you with a man last night," the man said. "He is our son," she replied. "I was pregnant when you left, and our boy turned 20 today." And with that, they joyfully hugged each other. Then the three sat down to share the loaf of bread together. After prayer of thanksgiving, they broke the bread. They found all his money inside it. The man realized that his boss put the money inside that bread that he earned for past 20 years of works with bonus and plus interest.
Okay, that's entry number. Parang nakakatakot namang ipanood sa high school yun na. Entry number 20, that is, wait, GDE. GDE, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ayan. Wait lang. I-screenshot ko. Tinanggal ko yung internet nitong phone kaya hindi ako maka-screenshot kagad. Kasi, nag-iinarte nga yung wifi natin. Okay. Okay, ano to? Hindi ko napalitan kanina yung entry number 19 ha? Entry number, ano na to? Entry number 20 na to. Mga secretary, baka makita nyo 19 pa rin yung nakalagay dyan. Itong isasend ko sa inyo ay entry number 20 na. Kay Jericho na ito ha. Hindi ko na napalitan kanina kasi nga ganito yung internet ko eh. Ayan. Okay. I-check ko lang muna yung sino na naman yun? Sino yung hindi na ay Evangelist. Oo nga, bakit niya na-skip si Evangelista Heidi? Meron naman kay Evangelista Heidi at saka kay Diego. Baka ito yung kay magkasunod siguro sila Evangelista. Ay, hindi. Diego. Diego. Wala naman yung sa'yo, Miss Diego. Ayun, nakita ko na. Shera, meron. Meron yung sa'yo. Ito na, ipe-play ko na yung kay Miss Diego. Kasi kanina, wala, hindi, ni-skip niya yan eh. Share screen na lang muna tayo. Sana hindi na siya umikot-ikot. Ano ba yan? O, ayan ha. Share ko na yung kay Miss Diego. That's entry.
Town folks long time ago fed on abundant food like rice, corn, fish, meat, fruits, vegetable, and others. One day, in the place called Kabangnuangan, the creatures from the underworld were disturbed. Their dwelling the old banwag tree was cut as there was a need to establish a tabasera, a big tobacco The legend of the red rice. Town folks long time ago feasted on abundant food like rice, corn, fish, meat, fruits, vegetable, and others. One day, in the place called Kabangnuangan, the creatures from the underworld were disturbed. Their dwelling, the old banwag tree, was cut as there was a need to establish a tabasera, a big tobacco storage barn, to accommodate the bountiful harvest. Before these creatures migrated, they punished the town folks. They punished the town folks by inflicting dreaded diseases. Many suffered from chickenpox, leptospirosis, marasmus. Others suffered from tuberculosis and other forms of fatal diseases. There was no rain and plants wilted included trees. The animals became emaciated, drinking wells dried up, and the rivers were sporadically flowing. The people had nothing to eat. Many of the town folks died, the children, the youth, women, and men. The Panglakayan, led by Tata Pragat, decided to offer animals, fruits, vegetables to appease the disturbed creatures near the stump of Banwag tree, but no to avail. No, there the pestilence went on. In an effort to communicate with the underworld creatures who occupy the cave in Kimalugong, the Panglakayan tapped an intermediary spirit through a sun. The creatures insinuated that the only offer that could appease them was the blood of a virgin. The town folks the town folks searched for a maiden who was willing to sacrifice her life. But ladies went on hiding, or they were hidden by their parents in distant places. The people suffered more and more, for the pestilence went on and dry spell was unceasing. The only source of drinking water by the people was the Burayok in Nagsapalan. The place is difficult to reach. People needed to traverse the thick forest from Cabanwangan, passing through Mangartungot or San Vicente, Linumot, Pangtuiting, and Janao or Dikamay, where the Burayok was found. And this place was where a lady named Pinilisa dwelt. She was an only child nurtured with the fine manners, endowed with the beauty, kindness, and obedience to her parents. Many suitors tried their luck, but she was adamant to help her parents first before her personal happiness. One day, Tata Pragat went to fetch a water. He chanced upon on lovely Pinilisa. He was wasted no time to explain that she may be the key to unlock the people from the Obatage curse of and fury. Without hesitation, Pinilisa followed Tata Pragat amidst her parents' protest. Tears pierced to the whole Janao as they were aware of the impending supreme sacrifice of Pinilisa. For the young lady, hers was a special way to serve not only her parents but town folks in general. At the peak of the Kaingan right at the range of Mount Calbo, the ritual offering a virgin began. As insinuated by the underworld creatures, a golden knife can be found shattered in the white stone. After Pinilisa pulled off the knife, with her face turned to the sky, she targeted her heart as a proof of her willingness to offer her life for the people. Fresh blood welled from the deep wound, flowing and drenching the dry patch where she stood. As the Virgin collapsed, tears fell from the sky. Her blood dashed with the rainwaters. Mixed emotion dwelt in the hearts of the people, both happiness and sadness. The following day, the people were surprised as the dying folks began to recover. The grass and the plants turned green, and the animals showed signs of vitality. The biggest surprise were the plants that grew where the blood of Pinilisa flowed seep to the life of the people become normal again, once and for all. After several months, and the town folks harvested the grain from as usual plant. They learned that the grain were that of rice. They were surprised to see that it's the color from the crimson to deep brown, the color of dried blood. The aroma was irresistible. The people feasted on the rice along with abundant meat, fish, fruits, and vegetable. Once again in the celebration, which called Pinilisa. Wait lang. The town folks believed that the blood of Pinilisa reddened the color of the rice, and her purity was the source of the fine aroma. A winged Pinilisa monument in front of the Municipal Hall of Jones now stands to commemorate the supreme sacrifice that took place a long time ago. The wings signify success and glory for the town of Jones.
Okay, for Miss Diego, we have entry 22. LOM. LOM. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, Revin, titignan natin ulit ha, Mr. Kawan. Baka nga hindi ko lang nakita kanina. Yan. Tignan natin ulit, don't worry. Nandoon yun, makikita natin yun. Okay, let's see. Tignan natin kasi ang magkasunod dito. Kaya, talagang hindi niya hindi niya piniplay yung sa'yo, Miss Evangelista. Hanapin na lang natin siya. Hanapin na lang natin sa dito. Ito. Nakita niyo ba yung Miss kay Revin dito, Mr. Kawan? Ayun, sige. Next natin yan. Si Evangelista Heidi muna. Evangelista. Okay.
Hello everyone, I am Heidi Evangelista and today I am going to tell you a story. A story about friendship and sacrifice. A story about the power of hope and belief. This story is written by O. Henry, entitled The Last Leaf. Once upon a time, there was a town of poor painters on a high hill. Sue and Johnsy were both training to be painters. They live in a brick house at the edge of town. Johnsy had come down with pneumonia and stayed in bed feeling very ill. She continues to gaze out of the window. Sue, her friend, became very worried. She called the doctor. Although he came every day, yet Johnsy's condition showed no improvement. The doctor confirmed that Johnsy was not willing to live. As a result, the medicines were ineffective to cure her ill health. Sue tried her greatest to make Johnsy take an interest in things around her. She talked about clothes and fashion. However, Johnsy was irresponsible. She continued to lie still on her bed. Sue brought her drawing board into the room and began to paint. Suddenly, Sue heard Johnsy whispering something. She speedily rushed to the bed and heard Johnsy counting backward. Looking out of the window, she was saying, 12. However, after some time, she whispered, 11, then 10, and so on. She saw an old ivy creeper climbing halfway up the brick wall opposite to the window. Also, the creeper was shedding its leaves in the strong wind. Johnsy was very depressed. She created a thought that she would die when the last
to make Johnsy take an interest in things around her. She talked about clothes and fashion. However, Johnsy was irresponsible. She continued to lie still on her bed. Sue brought her drawing board into the room and began to paint. Suddenly, Sue heard Johnsy whispering something. She speedily rushed to the bed and heard Johnsy counting backward. Looking out of the window, she was saying, 12. However, after some time, she whispered, 11, then 10, and so on. She saw an old ivy creeper climbing halfway up a brick wall opposite to the window. Also, the creeper was shedding its leaves in the strong wind. Johnsy was very depressed. She created a thought that she would die when the last leaf fell. Sue tried to show affections towards Johnsy. She told her that she would not die. She has to live for her friend. Moreover, Sue would become lonely without Johnsy. But Johnsy was so sure that she would die as soon as the last leaf falls. Sue was very worried about her friend's condition. She was helpless. Sue rushed to the ground floor to seek help from a 60-year-old painter. His name was Berman. His lifelong dream was to paint a masterpiece. Unfortunately, it remained a dream only. Sue told the condition of her friend to Berman. She said that Johnsy refused to eat and continuously looked outside the window. She declares that she would not survive after the falling of the last leaf. Berman condemned Johnsy for being silly. However, he agrees to paint the last leaf for Johnsy so that she could recover. Johnsy woke up the next morning. To her surprise, the last leaf survived the storm and it was clinging to the creeper. This incident opened Johnsy's eyes. She apologized to her friend for being so irresponsive and depressed. She realized that it was a sin to think of death. The doctor arrived. He told about the improvement in her health. He added that she would recover soon as her desire to live was back. Sue went to see Berman. He was only 2 days ill. However, he dies of pneumonia contracted while being out in the wet and cold. Sue tells this news to Johnsy. She tells her to look at the last leaf clinging the creeper. She reveals the truth that it was the masterpiece of the old artist Berman. Berman always wanted to produce a masterpiece painting, but had never succeeded in his attempt to produce the same. However, to help Johnsy recover, he spent considerable time painting with great realism a leaf on the wall. Thus, he himself dies of pneumonia contracted while being out in the wet and cold.
Wow, napakahusay. Kontrabida lang kasi yung na yan, yung signal na yan. Umiikot-ikot siya pagka full screen ko. Okay, easy. Wait lang, sino na naman to? Ko natuloy yung yung na-excite ako dun sa present ni Heidi. O, ayan. LOM for Heidi, go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and a half, and 1. Ayan. Screenshot ko lang bago ko i-play si Revin. Dali, hanapin na natin at baka mamaya Miss na naman natin. Ayun. Ayan, si Revin Kawan. Siya na yung last natin. Magsalita kayo kung meron pa palang hindi niya i-play ha. Minsan nag-i-skip kasi talaga siya. Okay, off ko lang.
Hi guys, my name is Regine Pitawan, and I'm going to tell you a story about the hare and the tortoise.
Let the bass kick.
The Hare and the Tortoise. There once was a speedy hare who bragged out how fast he could run. Suddenly, he saw a tortoise walking slowly with a heavy shell on his back. He laughed at the tortoise and mocked him for his slow speed. The tortoise stretched out his long neck and challenged the hare to a race. A race. Indeed, a race. Oh, what fun! A race, of course, my tortoise. We shall race. All the animals in the forest gathered to watch. The race began. And the hare, being such a swift runner, soon left the tortoise far behind. He looked back at the tortoise and cried out, "How does he expect to win this race when he's walking along at such a slow pace?" He decided that he had time to take a little nap. And he cuddled up against a tree and dozed. Meanwhile, the tortoise walked and walked. He never ever stopped. Until he came to the finish line. The animals who were watching cheered so loudly for tortoise they walked up the hare. Time to get going, he thought. And off he went faster than he had ever run before. He dashed as quickly as anyone ever could up to the finish line, where he met the tortoise, who was patiently awaiting his arrival.
Let the bass kick.
Oy, magsalita lang dyan yung hindi ni i-play ha. Si Mr. Kawan, Mr. Bakagura na kun, ay RSP 2019, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Stop na. At i-screenshot na natin kung ilan ang fans ni Raven. Ayan. Okay, while waiting dun sa result, kasi kanina pa naman nire-record nung mga secretary natin. So for sure, madali lang nilang gawin to. Okay. Nakuha nyo na? Nakita nyo na ba? Yung mga secretary, nakita nyo na ba? Yung sinend ko na last. Bale, yan na yung last na screenshot natin, ha? So it means to say, hintayin ko na lang yung result sa inyo. Paki-rank na rin siya. Gusto kong makita yung 1, 2, 3 at i-award natin siya kaagad-agad. Okay. Habang hinihintay natin, hinihintay natin sila secretary, dalawin nyo muna yung mga channel ng mga ito, Vlad Tambayan Club, Lovely Jade, okay, Lovely Jade ko na, Lovely Jade, ayan, hanapin nga natin dito yung mahina pala signal ko, sorry. Ay, wala. Okay. Hanapin niyo muna yan. Habang hinihintay natin sila, kasi baka kino-compute pa nila yan. Okay. Ayan, yan na siya. My God! Nakita ko na. Wait lang. Asan na? Nakita ko na kanina yan. Okay. Pakirank nyo. Pakirank nyo ng mga anak. At nahihirapan ako sa mata ko. Hindi ko naman maano to. Okay. Naku, nakikita ko na yung winner. Okay, tatlong pipiliin nating winner for today. Ayan, ito na. Thank you so much sa dalawang secretary ko. Oy, baka mamaya ma-issue tong dalawang secretary ko. Dalawa sila. So, yung isa, sigurado namang papaluin niya yung isa kung iba naman ang At saka nakikita ko. Pwede kong i-confirm yan. Pero dito sa data natin, ang galing naman ng dalawang to. Ang bilis. Okay. Ang top 3 natin, top 3. Anong score niya? Anong score niya? Si Miss Gian Galano, it's 29. Wow, may 50 million ka na GCash. Ang second natin ay Alcantara Leslie, 31 points. Tama ba ako? O, tama. 31 points. Yun. Yee! Alcantara Leslie. Wow. May 50,000 GCash din siya. And, of course, ang pinakamataas top grocer natin ay 34 points. Naku, si Rona Jane Gieb. Siya may pinakamaraming fans kanina. Congratulations, Rona Jane Gieb. So just last night, very good kayong lahat, ha? Congratulations to all of you. Just last night, meron din akong personal pick. O, di ba last night, parang si Edmar, yung personal pick ko last night. I would say may personal pick din ako tonight. Although sa grade ko lang naman siya pwedeng bigyan. Wala nang prize. Ang prize, mas maganda yung prize niya kasi grade. Actually, yung computed grade niya dito, including the votes, ay 98. O, di ba? Ang laki-laki nun. Galing sa akin yun. Napakataas nung 98%, ha? 89%, sobrang taas na nga yun. Ang nakakuha nun ay halos na perfect niya lahat yung sa rubrics natin. Guess who? Kung sino yung personal pick ko, guess who? Guess who? Sino? Sino? Sige nga. Sabihin nyo nga kung sino kaya yung nakakuha ng napakataas na grade. Actually, sa lahat ng performances, siya lang yata yung nabigyan ko pa lang during this SEM ng ganito kataas na score, 98. Okay. Wow, very good. Alam nilang lahat. Yes, si Heidi Evangelista. Yes, congratulations Heidi. Wala ka mang GCash. Ay sigurado na mataas ang score mo sa digital storytelling. Sana nakikita niyo yung face ko ngayon with all my facial expression, pero mas mapapansin niyo yung mga pimples ko kapag nagsasalita, kaya wag na. Okay, pero I would say na lahat kayo matataas naman ang grade. Siyempre wala namang babang grade sa inyo kasi ang gagaling nyo naman. Puwera ano to ha, puwera bola. Kasi I really am impressed, both BSE and BEE. Congratulations to all of you. At I would like also to express my thanks to you for cooperating. Una pa lang dun sa pag-pass nyo ng digital storytelling nyo. Alam kong marami kayong alinlangan, paano kaya gagawin yun? Pwede ko bang gawin yun? Ano kaya gagamitin ko? But just like what I said last night, I'm so proud of you kasi kahit limited ang mga gadget, kahit limited ang mga gamit ninyo or application or whatsoever na gumawa ng digital storytelling, you were still able to do it. So, I won't judge according to pangit naman yung ginawang ganito, pangit naman yung pag-video, kasi ang concern ko lang is how do you deliver it? And how do you do it with your limited gadget, with your limited resources? And you're very creative and resourceful. And for that, talagang you deserve a good grade. Okay? Congratulations to all of you. Awan tilabas na am amin ket na pintas. Yun nga lang, nag-rank tayo, so may lumabas na winner. But I would like to tell everyone that rest assured that you did your good job, you did a good job, and you will get what you deserve. Okay? So good night na, 8:12 pa lang. Hindi pa lang tayo matutulog. Yung iba dyan, makikichika pa. O sige. Ako kakain pa lang, hindi pa ako nag-dinner. So, yung mga katulad ko dyan na di pa nag-dinner, tara, kain tayo. Ulam ko tuyo, nga addain redis na nga kamatis na imasi kayo. Okay, so goodbye everyone. Have a good night's sleep. Yung mga nanalo ng GCash, PM nyo lang ako sa GCash number anytime. At saka sa mga secretary ko, alam nyo na. Okay, alam nyo na. Hugot Cafe by Sir Oka para sa inyo ay tig-isang milk tea. Okay? So, goodbye everyone and shout out kay 4 Pinoy's Adventures TV. And after this, pakipuntahan lang, my dear students, si 4 Pinoy's Adventures TV. Okay? Maraming salamat to all of you and have a good weekend ahead kasi Friday na bukas. So malapit na ang weekend, isang tulog na lang. Ay, 2 tulog, including tonight. Okay, ang dami ko pang sinabi. Goodbye everyone! Sana maging ganyan din ang performance ninyo sa finals. Mwah! Bye-bye!